50.77 kilometres in Aragon, the longest Tissot Superpole race of the season gets underway. Great start from Alvaro Bautista, immediately moving up alongside Jonathan Rea. Big moment for Axel Bassani going into turn one. He's off the circuit altogether. Rea recovers the race lead. Razgatlioglu now will immediately attack on the tail of Alvaro Bautista. So it's as they were when they left the grid. Rea from Bautista, Razgatlioglu in third. Michael Ruben Rinaldi making some progress here. Tries to go around the outside of Andrea Locatelli. Locatelli will hold the line firm. Garrett Gerloff with a decent jump. He's up to P6. Iker Lecuona from the second row of the grid is down to P7. Remy Gardner and Xavi Vierque rounding out your top nine. Those scoring positions, of course.
Yeah, Locatelli with the Q-Tire making sure he's able to hold on to the top four spot behind his teammate Toprak. Jonathan Rea, though, made sure that he had to hit the front. If Bautista gets in front of him, we saw yesterday how difficult it's going to be for Rea. But with the Q-Tire, let's see what Toprak can do in these early stages. Bautista struggled with the wind on Friday. It's a very calm day here on Sunday, so the changeable conditions, we'll see how he adapts.
It is Jonathan Rea then who leads the way, opened up 7/10 of a second by the time they hit turns 14 and 15 on lap 2, and that just put him without the reach of Alvaro Bautista. He's done the same again on lap number 3. 7/10 of a second again between Rea and Bautista as they make their way in towards turn 12. We ride on board with Toprak Razgatlioglu, still hunting that Ducati, but for the moment at least, Bautista just about able to hold on to that second place.
Yeah, you can see how much Alvaro's moving around his weight as well, trying to get his grip where he needs it. So for Toprak, he looks a lot more comfortable on this bike compared to what you're seeing from Alvaro. But once you get onto the straight, as we ride on board, look at that Ducati just disappear from Toprak. This is where it's demoralising for Razgatlioglu and also tough for Jonathan Rea. He had opened up 7/10 of a second again. Let's see how much that margin comes down.
Quick mention of our race 1 winner, Michael Ruben Rinaldi sits in 5th position. He's got a second's gap to Andrea Locatelli, so Locatelli hanging on really well to your lead trio, but he himself is drifting back at the end of lap number 3. He was only 6/10 behind Razgatlioglu. It's the Superpole race. This is Bautista versus Razgatlioglu, but when we see the three of them, we'll see Bautista almost up and alongside Jonathan Rea through turn 16. The closest he's come so far. He's chipping away at that advantage. He might even be able to think about a move as early as turn 1 on lap 7. He might have got the move done earlier than that even. Onto the start-finish straight. It's only just over 600 metres, but Bautista is already up and alongside. Rea is able to brake later. Bautista has the inside. Rea carries his momentum all the way around the outside. He'll give him the inside then for turn 2. Super riding from Jonathan Rea, will not give in, and it's now Toprak Razgatlioglu who has the momentum and fights his way through into second place. It's Rea, Razgatlioglu and Bautista. Almost a little bit of tandem riding there between Rea and Razgatlioglu. The best chance here is that they both keep Bautista behind them. Watching then to see if Toprak Razgatlioglu now can try and snatch the race lead away from Jonathan Rea. Just 1/10 of a second in it. Razgatlioglu desperately needs to put a bite between himself and Bautista in the context of the championship.
The one thing for Toprak is now he can try and attack into 12. We know he's strong into there. Yesterday in the opening race the weekend, that was an area where Jonathan Rea was struggling as well. We'll see if Toprak is able to make that step to attack into the next corner. So just in front of the wall, the heavy braking zone into 12. We've seen how strong he is compared to Bautista. What's it going to be like compared to Jonathan Rea?
Rea's advantage compared to Razgatlioglu is not as dramatic in the first 2 sectors as it is compared to Alvaro Bautista, but the deficit in the final sector isn't as severe either. So Razgatlioglu is going to have to work harder to get up alongside Jonathan Rea than Bautista did at the start of this lap 7, but he is all over his tail as they come out of turn 15. Bautista then with the watching brief. He'll try to accelerate back onto the tail of his 2 closest rivals in the championship for 2023. Jonathan Rea, your race leader, is 3rd in the standings. Toprak Razgatlioglu closest to Bautista on points, challenging Rea for the race lead. Bautista pushing into the final 2 turns. That's where he went down yesterday, but he's not afraid to really attack on the tail of Razgatlioglu here.
They're going to go 3 abreast into turn 1 here. We'll see who's able to break deepest.
Start of lap 8. The teams urging their riders on. Jonathan Rea moves to the inside line, blocks out Bautista. Razgatlioglu slots on back through. Bautista himself is pushing hard as well from 3rd. Bautista on the penultimate lap will try the move into turn 16. Razgatlioglu that much closer this time around to Jonathan Rea as well. In the slipstream down the back straight. 968 metres here. Watch for Bautista closing as well. All three in the mix as they come into the final two turns of this penultimate lap. Another opportunity down the start-finish straight then. Razgatlioglu to the inside. Defends successfully against Bautista. Bautista this time with the run off the final turn. 1 lap to go. Jonathan Rea leads it. Looking for only his second race victory of this 2023 campaign. Razgatlioglu fending off Alvaro Bautista. The important fight in terms of the championship.
Yeah, Toprak just doesn't have that front end that he needs. So Jonathan Rea has a few bike lengths now, and Bautista is going to be under the pressure for Razgatlioglu to come through it now as well. So this is tough for Toprak.
Here comes Bautista, sliding and wobbling his way through to second. It's put him off the racing line. Razgatlioglu tries to jab back down the inside, can't quite get there. Now it's Rea versus Bautista for this race victory, and you wouldn't bet against Bautista with a late attack down the back straight for the final time.
As long as Toprak can't attack back on Bautista, Bautista has this one because he's so strong down that back straight. But you can see for Jonathan Rea, he's doing everything he can to try and find any grip there on the entry to the corners, the exits of the corners. He's just trying to get every inch he can out of that Kawasaki.
And Rea's advantage is that Bautista will be more interested in keeping Razgatlioglu behind him than perhaps he will be in taking this race victory. He's certainly got to fend off Toprak for the next few corners.
But down the back straight, he doesn't have to worry about Toprak. He only has to focus on Rea in front of him. Bautista's been good through 12, 13, 14 and 15 the last few laps. Let's see what he's like against Jonathan Rea now. 0.3 of a second, the gap with 2 sectors to go. It's that final sector that Bautista and the Ducati are the perfect combination and are so much stronger than their rivals, and there is nothing in it now between Jonathan Rea and Alvaro Bautista. Rea looking for only his second race victory of this 2023 campaign. His last victory in the dry was May 2022 in Estoril, but it's Alvaro Bautista already with 5 race victories in MotorLand Aragon, who looks set to take his 6th. Soars around the outside of Rea with only 2 turns to go. Jonathan Rea now might think about a cutback manoeuvre coming off the final turn, but Bautista has held the inside line well, and Alvaro Bautista takes the perfect revenge after his failure to score yesterday with a victory in the Superpole race. It's 5 apiece in Superpole races in 2023 between him and Razgatlioglu, but crucially Jonathan Rea is second ahead of Toprak, and the championship gap opens back out to 42 points. A very, very important ride for Alvaro Bautista psychologically after the devastation of 2 crashes in one race yesterday afternoon.